Hey, it's Yay for Yarn, and today I'm going to show you how to make a buttonhole in your knitting on your Addi Knitting Machine. So this has actually been a video that has been requested by at least one, if not several, of my viewers. And we're going to be working an intentional hole in the knitting that's not going to unravel so that we can use it as a buttonhole or even just as a decorative eyelet. So this is what the buttonhole will look like from the wrong side, and this is kind of what it looks like from the right side. We'll be able to see it better when we take this off the machine, but I'm going to show you how to make that intentional hole, and you can put it pretty much anywhere in your work, anywhere in the knitting. I don't recommend putting it on the edge stitch needle because it won't actually make a hole. It'll just make a weird blip in the edge of your fabric instead of a hole. So you can work a buttonhole on any of the needles on your flat panel except the two edge stitches. And if you are working a tube, then you could work a buttonhole on any of the needles on the whole machine. So basically, a intentional hole or a buttonhole in the knitting is going to happen when we decrease a stitch and then just let the machine knit across the gap. So it does not actually remove any width or, any of the number of stitches from the work. It just kind of moves a stitch over onto the next needle to make a gap there that we can then just knit across. So in my little swatch here, I have been doing my buttonholes on every 6th row. So I'm going to go ahead and work that 6th row and show you how to do the buttonhole. And I am doing my buttonholes on needle number 8. And for me, that is because I'm going to use these outer 4 stitches for the no curl flat panel technique, so that when I take this off the machine and lay it out flat for you, it won't curl up and you'll actually be able to see my buttonholes. But you don't have to use the no curl technique to have, to make a buttonhole. So you could do this closer to the edge if you're not using that. So I'm going to put my buttonhole on this needle right here. So what I'm going to do is gently bring it up just past these little red pins right here. You just want this tip of the hook, the sharp part that comes down, to come up just past the little red pins. You're going to need a loom pick for this, and you're just going to bring the stitch on the needle forward and then back the machine up just a tiny bit and lift the stitch off of that needle. Now we're going to move this stitch over here to this needle. Now if I wasn't doing the no curl method, then I would put it on this needle. It is generally easier to move the stitch in the same direction that you're knitting, but you can, if you want to, move it in the opposite direction, as long as you're just careful when you back it up. You just want to make sure that this last stitch that actually sunk down into the bed of the machine and made a complete stitch, you just want to make sure that doesn't come back up. So I'm just going to kind of stretch and wiggle the stitch that's on my loom pick and gently bring it over to the stitch that is next to my buttonhole needle and slip it over the top. Now if you have a really hard time and you have to pull it and yank on it to get it over that needle, and if it pulls the needle when you do that, then your knitting is too tight, because we don't want to force anything onto the needles. If we're forceful with, putting stitches and moving stitches around, then we could break a needle, and we don't want to do that. So it's not generally best to try to manipulate stitches if your knitting is really tight. But then again, if your knitting is really tight, you wouldn't want to be, using your machine that way anyway. So this is best done on medium to looser gauge knitting, not tight knitting. Tight knitting isn't good for the machine in the first place, but you definitely don't want to have to be forcing the stitches to move where you want them to go. So this one, because it has 2 stitches on it, it will need a little bit of help to come up. So we'll just push those 2 stitches down on that needle, and then we can just continue to knit across our row. Now the empty needle is going to grab the working yarn and just pull it down into the machine. And then I'm going to knit a few more rows. And now we can see that buttonhole is complete. And as we keep knitting up on that same needle, it just continues with the column of knitting and leaves that hole right there where you want it. So this is perfect for any place that you want a buttonhole or something to thread through. You could even like thread a piece of I-cord, you know, in and out of the holes. Or if you just want to do some decorative like eyelet or lace designs, then you can do that with this technique as well. And you don't have to place your buttonholes in a vertical column. You can also place them horizontally. So I'm going to knit back across, and I'm just going to come and work a few buttonholes as we go across. So here's my 8th needle. I'm just going to lift it off of the needle and slip it over the next one, like so. Gently bring it down, and let's say I'm going to skip 1, 2, 3, 4, and then work another buttonhole on the 5th needle. I'll wait till that needle comes up, lift it off of the machine, and slip it over the next needle. Then I'll skip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and maybe put another one here if I wanted to. So I'm just going to work a few more rows on my flat panel, and then I'll take this off the machine so that you can see what it looks like. So here is my finished swatch. I've got the ribbing at the bottom for the no curl flat panel technique, and on the side I went ahead and worked some of that same ribbing for the no curl flat panel technique. And if this is laid totally flat, then you can see our column of neat little buttonholes, and they will be evenly, you know, all even size. They will not be like, you know, one really big and then the next one's too small or whatever. So then you'll be able to, you know, just choose a button that will fit through this space comfortably without, you know, having to force it through, but still not be too loose of a buttonhole for the button. So you can just choose whatever size button works best for your project with the yarn you're using and the size that your buttonholes come out to be. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know what kind of project you would use a buttonhole in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe, making sure you click the little bell next to the subscribe button to be notified of new videos. Thanks for watching.